you go. These are the answers to the whiteboard problem. So first one, Brooklyn Skyhawks won 5 of their first 7 games. So that means that if there were 7 games played, they won 5 games out of the 7. So they means they lost 2. So I'm going to set up a tape diagram for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they lost 2. Right, for a total of 7 games. Good. So there are 28 games in the season. So if there are 28 games in the season, 28 goes over here. Right? 28 represents all these boxes are represented by 28. So what number can go into all these boxes? Well, if 28s divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 means that each box will have the number 4. And how many games would you expect them to win this season? Well, I would expect them to win, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 20 games, expectations, okay? And they would lose 8 if they play 28 games. Another way of doing this is to do it, let's see, 1, lost, win games, win, lost, and total 7. So if I make something like this, I can write that they would win 5, they would lose 2, and that column it should be called the total. Right? At a total game of 7s, they would win 5, they would lose 2, and 7. That's given to us. So if there are 28 games in total, I would put the 28 over here, and you notice that it's a times 4, so everything would be times 4 times 4. And again, you would get the same answer. Okay, which is, by the way, 20 games. 4 friends paid blah 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 total for $32, so they spent $32 for bowling, and write as a unit rate. So well, let's write as a unit rate, and a unit rate is something that compares to 1 of something, right? So I like to write this as a fraction. Friends, right, per person, 4 persons. And unit rate, we're going to change. So the cost for 1 person, and what's the relationship here? Divide by 4. So the top is divide by 4. So it means that each of the friends paid $8. So that would be the unit rate. 3. Shani can type 82 words in 4 minutes. How many words can she type in 15 minutes? Well, I'm going to go like this. 82 words, and again, this minutes. I'm going to use the unit rate to help me out here. And I want to know, and I'll just write this a little bit further out. 15 minutes. How many words can she type in 15 minutes? Well, I'll change this to a unit rate, so I'm going to go and find how many words she can type in 1 minute. So it's divide by 4. I'm going to divide this by 4. Right? So if I divide it by 4, I get 20.5. She can type 20 and a half words per minute. Now, look how easy that is when I use the unit rate. I can go from 1 to 15 very easily, times 15, and I'm going to multiply the top times 15, and I have no idea what that is, 300 and something, 307.5, am I right? 20.5 times 15, and I'm right, 307.5. So she can type 307 words and a half in 15 minutes. So the key thing here was getting to the unit rate, okay, which made life much easier for me. 4, what's cheaper? So again, you can compare it to $1. You can change the unit rate and make it $1, or the cost per liter. I like when the money's on top. It just makes my life here. $4.70 or 4.7, and I get 5 liters. And over here I get $2.79, and I get 3 liters. And to compare, I need to find out what. I'll make both of them 1 liter. So here it's divide by 5, and 470 divided by 5 is 0.94 cents, I believe. And if I divide this by 3 to get 1, divide this by 3, I get 0.93. So the 5 liter bottle is a little bit more expensive, and is it really? Wow. So let me just make sure. 0.94 times 5. 0.94 times 5. Oh boy, 0.94 times 5. What am I doing? 0.94 times 5. Oh my god. 0.94 times 5. 4.7. Yeah, I'm right. So actually, this one, the cheaper bottle is the 3 liter bottle. Okay. Doesn't happen too often where the smaller size is cheaper. 5. You got a brownie recipe, and it says you have to use 48 brownies, and you get 2 cups of flour. And the other one is 60 brownies, and you have to use 3 cups of flour. Are these rates equivalent? 3 cups. 3 cups. Is this 48 over 2 the same thing as 60 over 3? Well, one way of doing this is to simplify it. Okay, so if I simplify 48 over 2, I get 24 over 1. And if I simplify this to a unit rate, I get divide by 3, I get 20 over 1. So you can tell that in its simplified version, it is not, because this and this are not equivalent. Okay, so the other way you could have done it is to look up here. How does a 2 become, what's the relationship? 2 cups of flour to get 48 times 24, and 3 to go to 60 is times 20. So again, up and down is not the same. Okay, so it's not equivalent. 6. Ratio of bagels is 4 to 7. If there's 24 more donuts, bagels. So I'm going to do this in a way, I don't think we've done this in class. So I'm going to write 4 bagels. I'll do it 2 ways. 7 donuts, right? Which gives me a difference of what? A difference of 3. 3 is the difference between the amounts. Notice that usually we write total here. This one I'm doing a little bit different. So right now, at the initial ratio of 4 to 7, 4 bagels, 7 donuts, there is a difference of 3, which means there's 3 more donuts, right? So over here, I'm going to write bagels again. I'm going to write donuts again. And I'm going to write difference. What happens when the difference between the two amounts is 27? Right? When you say 24 more donuts, it means that there are 27 less bagels, or either way, the difference between the two amounts is 27. So, times 9, times 9, times 9, 4 times 9 is 36, 7 times 9 is 63. So, when the difference is 27, you're going to have 63 donuts and 36 bagels. If you subtract, actually, so 63 and 36. 63 and 36. Do you get 27? 13 minus 67. This was a 5. Minus 3 is 27. Yep, you get that. You could have done it that way, and the more, I guess, popular way we did it in class is by doing a tape diagram. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We call this bagels. The second one's going to be donuts. I'm going to do one exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not exactly 5, 6, 7. So here's my ratio 4 to 7. Wow, really ugly. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The more part represented by this area right here, right? This is the more part, and I'm going to put 27 over here. What's one number that we can put in this? Well, the same number. Okay, so that adds up to 27, and that number would be 9. Which means everything else here would be 9 as well. So how many bagels are there? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 18, 27. There's 36 bagels, and 9, 36, 45, 54, 63, and 63 donuts, which is the same answer we got before. 7. On a hiking trip. Okay, so anytime they want to know what is going to happen, you know, for example, this one says 12 kilometers in 5 hours. What's going to happen in 13 hours? So we're trying to figure out how much she would walk further down the line. You want to maybe use the unit rate, because that comes in very handy. So 12 kilometers, she walks in 5 hours. The question says, what about in 13 hours? Well, there is no relationship side to side. Up and down, there's a decimal relationship, but if you can't figure that out, you can always, well, you can use the unit rate. So 5 hours, let's change this to unit rate, which becomes 1 hour. And we're going to divide that by 5. And we're going to divide this by 5. And 12 divided by 5 is going to be 2.4 kilometers. So in 1 hour, she can walk 2.4 kilometers. So now it's very easy to go from the unit rate to what we want to know eventually, which is 13 hours times 13 times 13. And 2.4 times 13 equals 31.2 kilometers. Número 8. Okay, Sam divides their money. There's 3 children. So this one I like. 3 children, so we call that Adam, Ben, and Charlie in the ratio of 3 to 2 to 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's our ratios here. If Charlie received 120 more than Adam, so compare Charlie, which is this guy here, to Adam. He has 4 more squares. So right here, up to here, up to this part, they're the same. So this is the more part compared to Adam. He has 4 more than Adam. And that's represented by the number 120. So 120 divided by 4 will give us 30, 30, 30, and 30. Which means everything else is going to be a 30. So how much money did Ben receive? Now we're interested in this guy. It's 30 and 30. He received 60. 9. It's a less problem. Turquoise. I'm going to pronounce it for blue. White and green. I saw this 15 less thing, so I know I'm going to use a tape diagram. I am going to use a tape diagram. So you got 2 for blue, 4 for white, and 1 for green. Okay, and it says there are 15 less liters of green. Okay, obviously there's less green than white. Well, if you compare the white and the green, obviously there's less green, which means there's more white. And the more white part compared to the green is this part right here. So if you compare the number of boxes which white has to the green, there's 3 more. So in that, it's going to be represented by 5. So 15 divided by 3 boxes, it means that each box is 5, which means all the other boxes are going to be 5 as well. So how many liters of turquoise paint can you make in total? Okay, hang on a second. I gotta figure this out. About 2, 4, and 1. If there's 15 less, so which means I have 20. I have, sorry, that's not a 20. That is a 10. That is a 20, and that is a 5, right? So how many liters can I make? Well, I need a ratio of 2, 4, and 1, right? I need 2 blue, 4 white, 1 green. That gives me 1 liter of turquoise. So I'm gonna, if I make another liter, I'm gonna need 2, 4, and 1. Another one would be 2, 4, and 1. Another one would be 2, 4, and 1, right? And then another one, 2, 4, 1. I'm gonna stop here because 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 adds up to what I have of 10 blue. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 adds up to 20, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 adds up to 5. So with 10, 20, and 5, I can make 1 liter, 2 liters, 3 liters, 4 liters, 5 liters. 10. Predict. So predict, I want to definitely use a unit rate. So I know if I pay $3.60, I get 6 ounces. And it's asking me how much will I get for 20 ounces. So 2 ways of doing this. You can find the unit rate. You can find an up and down relationship. Let's stick to unit rate. 6 ounces. So what does that mean? That 1 ounce it costs how much? Well, I'm going to divide 360 divided by 6. That means that each ounce is going to cost me 60 cents. Right? So if I were to buy 20 ounces, I'm going to multiply by 20. Multiply that by 20. And that's going to give me $12. 26 times 20. Yep, $12. There was an up and down relationship, by the way. It would be times 60, so all you have to do is multiply 20 times 60, and you would have gotten the same answer. Tim, Mary, and John. So we have Tim, Mary, and John. So this one's complicated. Right, John, Mary, and Tim. Tim sold half of blah, 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 blah. Each ticket is worth $2. Tim sold half of the tickets. Mary and John sold the remaining tickets in the ratio of 1 to 3. So the ratio of Mary and John is 1 to 3. Right? So this is 50%. So Tim by himself sold 50% of the tickets, and Mary and John together sold the other 50% of the tickets. Right? So Tim obviously by himself sold more. But what that means is that the combination of Mary and John is the same thing as Tim. So if Mary and John are represented by 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, it means that Tim is represented by 4 squares, right? Because he's the other half. So it should equal to 4. That's my tape diagram. Okay. It says that Tim sold 36 more than Mary. Well, obviously Tim sold more than Mary if you can compare. Tim sold, the number of boxes is 4 to 1. So here's the more. Compared to Mary, he sold 3 more boxes more. And those 3 boxes are represented by the number 36. 36 divided by these 3 boxes, the only number would be 12. So it means that everything would be a 12. And we want to know how much money they collect altogether. Well, let's find out the number of tickets. So Tim sold 48 tickets. She sold 12. He sold 36. So we're total 96 tickets sold together. Tickets. And we know that each ticket was $2. 12 goes 1, 92. So $192 were earned by both of them. So let's make money sign there. 12. How many are here? 12. Ratio of blue to green. So again, blue. So I'm going to do part total here. So I got blue, I got yellow, I got red, I got green, and I got purple. So it's 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. And let me write a column for total. So right now I have 5 and 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is what I would have. Right? Part B. 60. 60 blue marbles. How many green marbles are there? So if there's 60 green, 60 blue, so 60, that would go over here. What is it? Times 12. So everything would be times 12, times 12, times 12, times 12, and yeah, times 12. So it'd be 48, 36, 24, 12, and 15 times 12 would give us whatever. 15 times 12 would give us 180 for a total of 180. So if there are 60 blue marbles, how many green? Well, the green would increase to 24. Okay? Okay, 12. 13, which is a better buy? Laundry detergent. So 8 pounds. So I'll write down as a fraction again. $7.40, and I'd like my money on top for 8 pounds. And or buy the smaller version for 3 pounds and pay only $2.73. Well, this is, by now, you should know that this is going to be a unit rate problem. Let's change that to 1 pound. Let's change that to 1 pound. So 8 divided by 8 over here. And the other one is going to be 7.4. 7.4 divided by 8. So over here, well, it actually came out to 0.925. We're going to round this to the nearest hundredth, which is here. So that becomes 0.93. So it's 0.93, so 93 cents per pound. The other one is going to be 2.73 divided by 3, and that's going to give us 91 cents per pound. And again, the smaller size is the better deal because it's 2 cents cheaper per pound. Again, very unusual. It happens. 5 of the members of Mr. Chill's soccer teams are girls. Find the ratio of boys to girls on the team. Really? So if there are 12 members and 5 of them are girls, 5 girls, that means that there are 7 boys, right? And if you get the total, you get a total of 10. So find the ratio of boys to girls. Well, the ratio of boys to girls would be there are 7 boys to 5 girls. Remember, order doesn't matter because we're comparing boys to girls. So, but I had to know that obviously if 5 of them are girls, the rest will be boys. Okay? Simple enough question. And la última pregunta. 15. The ratio of amount of water in a bottle, blah, blah, blah. So we got, let's just take bottle A to bottle B right now is 4 to 7. Right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know that there's a little bit more water in the B bottle. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is that 1/4 of the water in A is poured into B. So I'm going to take, well, A is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1/4 would be this guy. I'm going to take that box and move it down here. So now A is going to have only 3, right? Because 1/4 of it and that part is I'm going to move it to B. And B, which had 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now with that extra part, and I'll change colors with that extra part, has 8. Okay, so that's what happens when 1/4 of 8 gets moved to there. So that, and here's my that 1/4 that came in, right? That one box that came in there. Okay, so now they say then 1/4 of B is poured into A. So now A and B, okay, so the last move, 1/4 of B. Well, B is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's 1/4? Well, this would be these 2 boxes would be 1/4, right? If I broke it up into 4ths, these 2 boxes would be 1/4, and these 2 boxes would be 1/4, and the last 2 boxes would be 1/4, right? So I'm going to take 2 boxes because that represents 1/4 of B. I'll take these 2 boxes like this. Now move it back to A. So A, which had 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, now it's going to have those 2, right? And B, which had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because these 2 boxes moved back to 8. So B is going to have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's the ratio at the end? Well, the ratio to A to B will be 5 to 6. Okie dokie. And that's your, those are your answers.